Manila's walled city, the oldest and most historical part of our city, the place where our history has strung forth. Ako po si Carlos Celdran, and in this week's episode of Kwentong Kanto, let's look behind these walls and learn about the place called Intramuros. Intramuros, considered as the oldest district and the historic core of the city of Manila. This name comes from the Latin words intra and muros, meaning within the walls. It is a name that has been given by the Spaniards throughout their colonial period, and until now it has remained unchanged. Any district outside the walled city is called extramuros, extra meaning outside the walls. But before Intramuros became what it is that we see now, the only defense of the city from 1571 up to 1574 was a palisade, a fence of wooden poles forming a defense barrier or fortification. September 1574, Governor General Guido de Lavezares ordered the building of a makeshift defense made out of boards, stakes, and barrels filled with sand. This was because the alarming news that the Chinese pirate Limahong was plotting an attack on the city of Manila. It was Juan de Salcedo who had been sent north who was able to pacify the inhabitants and search for gold. And eventually, he saved the city. In the end, Limahong was finally forced to retreat and found his way north in Pangasinan, where he was finally defeated. Coincidentally, it was the feast of the Apostle Andrew at that time, so the city then decided to name St. Andrew as their patron saint. It was believed that it was this heavenly intervention that cost their salvation. Governor General Lavezares realized the need for the city to be more fortified, began surrounding these palisades, which were completed under the third governor, General Francisco de Sande. In 1581, Antonio Cedeño, a Jesuit, arrived in Manila. He had some knowledge of architecture, and it was he that was responsible for the rebuilding of Fort Santiago. But it was Governor General Santiago de Vera who asked him to design a fortification for Manila's southern and most vulnerable flank. So for this, Cedeño designed a circular roof fortification in the style of medieval towers. These towers were dedicated to the Nuestra Señora de Diguia, and the beginning of the stone fortifications of Manila began. And if there's anything that we've learned from this former palisaded city, is that history teaches us many lessons, whether that be bad or good. So ako po si Carlos Celdran for Kwentong Kanto, and I invite you all down to the walled city of Intramuros to walk along its walls. Hasta luego.